Tamara with Homegrown Devotion Homestead. How are you doing? I missed you. I know it's been a few months. I always take some time off in the beginning of the year to kind of just refresh and renew myself. I'm a mom of 4. I'm tired. I'm busy, so I needed it. And then we had something really hard happen with our family, so I needed to take some time and just kind of deal with that. But I've missed you and I'm back. I've been waiting to can beans because I've had a lot of people ask me how to do it. My cabinet, you can't see it, but my bean cabinet is bare completely, but I've been postponing canning them because I wanted to make a video. And so that's what we're doing today. So come join me while we can some beans. And just a side note, you might hear a little bit of pitter patter around. I have an audience today who told me, Mom, you look so beautiful and you're gonna be the best video ever. So I have a little audience today. Okay, so we're gonna can pinto beans. So my beans are already cleaned. They've been soaking, which is weird. I never usually soak them, but they help with digestion if you soak them. So we're gonna do that this time. My jars are already washed and ready. I have my electric canner filled. Not filled with beans, but just with my jars. It's going to heat up my jars for me and then let me know when I need to put the beans in. This is, there's a stark difference between the two. This makes it so much easier, and this is how I initially learned how to pressure can, because I started to get comfortable with the settings and the process, which made me more comfortable on the stove. So this is, I'm gonna start this, it's for 90 minutes, quart jars, beans, 90 minutes. I'm gonna start this, I inserted the jars, and then it's gonna tell me when to fill them. Okay, so I'm gonna put a cup of pinto beans for each jar. I usually don't add salt when I can. I like to add salt when I cook them. People have different preferences. I've heard some people say that the texture is different when you add salt with beans. I have no idea. I don't like to, so I'm gonna keep on doing it this way. So can, a cup of beans per can. Or per jar. I used to think that this was too little when I first started canning beans, and it just really didn't make sense to me. But they expand when they cook. So. It's always important when you are using jars, obviously to can, to check the rims to make sure there's no chips or anything in them so that they seal. Yes? Fix your dress? Oh, you look so beautiful. Okay, go ahead. Thank you. She is my girly girl. She's the cutest thing. She's very strong-willed and passionate, and she's potty training. So wish me luck and say a little prayer for me when you think about me throughout the day. But she's so cute, so. And I caught her yesterday. Her and her sister like to make, sorry if that's too loud. Her and her sister like to make videos on their tablet. And I caught her saying yesterday, thanks for watching my video, bye. And I thought it was, so I might have her finish this video off, we'll see. Okay, so I have my 7 jars filled with my cup of beans each. My on-stove pressure canner only holds 7 jars. I have this 16 quart maybe, but the reason why I have the 16 quart is because I have a glass stove top, so you have to be careful with weight. The other one is big, the canner's big, but my stove won't hold it without cracking it. So I went with the 16 and I'm just doubling up on the canners. Okay, so now that I have my jars filled, fill the jar up with hot water all the way to the 1-inch headspace line. And that's how we can our beans. Watch, pretty simple. Oops. So I'm gonna do this with each jar. I don't know what this little thing is. I can't remember what it's for. I don't know what it's for. But somebody gave me a set of them, and I thought they were the cutest things, and they actually work well for holding the jar so I don't burn my hands off. Somebody has to go to the potty. I'll be right back. Come on, Lucille. Okay, hands are washed and I'm back in action. She's doing so good. Can I just tell you, potty training, she's doing so good. I'm very proud of her. She's our 4th potty training. The first one was a breeze. He had 1 accident, never made an accident again. He used to get up at like 2.5 years old, 3 years old in the middle of the night to go to the potty. We didn't have to worry about it. This one's like, no thanks, I'll do what I want. And so I'm very proud of her because she's doing excellent. Okay, so let's finish filling our jars. It takes 90 minutes to can these beans. So I want to make sure that I get them in because dinner, children. I feel like I said this, but I want to just repeat. Whenever you're canning, your jars are clean. You need to make sure that you run your finger along the edge of the jars to make sure that there's no nicks or cracks in them so that they seal correctly. Because you don't want to go through all this work for your lids not to seal. Okay, here's 6. We're just gonna go with 6 because of my space. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to debubble these jars. I use a chopstick to do it. It has a name, maybe it's called a debubbler. I have no idea, I can't remember. But I'm gonna debubble these jars. Get all the bubbles out. I'm going to wipe each top with vinegar to take away any oils or just anything that could hinder it from sealing. These are hot. I have my lids sitting in a bowl in warm water. You don't have to boil these, but I do have them in warm water. I'm using ball lids today. This is my last pack of regular mouth lids, and canning season is starting, so I need to re-up on those for sure. These. And I have my rings. So you want to make sure that your rings don't have any rust or are bent. And you want to put these on fingertip tight. You don't want to you just want to put them on fingertip tight so that it's able to move and flow with the canning process. So this has rust on the inside. You can use these for other things, but not for canning. I'll tighten these in a second. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in my canner. I filled the water up to the first line, and I'm gonna put my sealed jars inside. I would love when we get more property to be able to set up a canning station outside. That would make my kitchen less warm, and I feel like it'd be easier. The cleanup, the space. I have one more jar to fill for this canner. Oops. I'm going to debubble it. All the bubbles are out. Wipe the rim with vinegar. This one has a little dent in it, so we're not going to use that. I'm going to use this gold one. Okay, so the lid's on and secure. You are going to turn the heat on and you're going to let this steam. So it's called venting. So this has to vent for 10 minutes before you put the regulator on. which then affects the PSI. So we're gonna let this come up, the temperature come up, it's gonna vent for 10 minutes, and then I'll show you how to put this in and what to look for and when to start your time, okay? So my water's heating up for my electric canner. It beeps, so I know it's ready. So these are gonna be hot. So this has already heated the jars for me. Let me get my, I'm gonna use this to take these out so I don't burn my hands. And I'm gonna fill these jars. It's 1 cup of pinto beans per jar. Does not change on how you can. It only changes on the size of the jar. This one only holds 5 quarts. I don't know if I said that already. It holds 5 quarts and I think 7 pints. Either way, it's convenient because you don't have to sit and watch it like you have to do a stove canner. If you want, I can actually include the link of where I got my electric canner in the description box. These are not that hot actually. Now I'm gonna fill these with water and get them back in the canner. Okay, so all my jars are into my electric canner. There's 5 quart jars in there. Okay. So I'm gonna put on the lid, close it up. And down here, I've already filled the jars, so I push start. It's gonna heat up the jars, and when it's ready for me to put the regulator on, then it'll tell me and I'll push start and it'll start cooking. And so that's for that one. It'll also vent for 10 minutes, which is really cool. And then it'll tell me when it's ready. My stovetop one has not started venting yet. It's still heating up, but I will show you what it looks like when it vents, okay? My electric canner is already venting. You can see on there. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. It's venting for 10 minutes. And once it's done venting, it'll let me know. And then we can go ahead and start the canning process in this one. Okay, my stovetop canner is venting. Do you see it in the corner, the right side? If I hold the camera like this, you can see the steam coming up against the black background. So it's venting. So this needs to vent for 10 minutes before I can put the regulator on. Cool, huh? So now over here, this one only has 4 minutes to go in its venting process. Okay, so my electric canner is ready for me to put the regulator on. The venting is over. I'm gonna put the regulator on to can. I'm gonna push and it's gonna start canning for 90 minutes. I don't have to check it. I don't have to check the PSI. I don't have to check any of it. It's just gonna do it for me and it's going to alert me when it's done. So convenient. So I put the regulator on and I turned down my stove a little bit because I want it to make sure it gets up to PSI slowly and not super fast where I can't control it. It needs to be at 10 PSI for what I'm canning in my area. So once this gets up to 10 PSI, I will go ahead and start my time for 90 minutes. Okay, check it out. It's at 10 PSI. Now I gotta regulate it and monitor it and make sure it stays there, but I'm gonna start my 90 minutes now. We still have about 55 minutes left on this one. The pressure is holding good and I'm excited. Halfway done on the electric canner. It just beeped. It is finished and now it is cooling. Let's see if you can see it. It says cool on there, and so it will cool on its own and then it will let me know when it's done. Okay, so my stovetop canner. Okay, one more potty break. I'll be right back. I'm back, clean hands. Okay, so my pressure canner has stopped. The gauge is to 0. The gauge is to 0. The little knob is down, so I can safely take the regulator off. I can open up the canner away from my face. And I'm gonna let it sit here for about 5 minutes to get it acclimated with the temperature so that my cans don't overflow when I take them out. It just helps the whole process work. So I'm gonna set it for 5 minutes. Surprisingly, my electric canner is still going. It has 1 more minute to go. So I'm gonna walk over here and take these out, and I'm gonna also open it, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then I'll take them out at the same time. And we got some beans for the shelf. We got some beans for the shelf. I'm so excited. I'll be back with you when this is finished. Okay, this one just finished, so let's open this. We're gonna take the regulator off. You're gonna always open it away from your face. And I'm gonna let these sit for 5 minutes before I take them out. Okay, so time is up. I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna take, you hear them pops? I'm gonna take these out of the canner carefully. You wanna have them at least an inch apart so that the air can flow through them. I'm gonna try to accomplish that. Excuse me, I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, here we go. I did 12 jars total. I'm super excited about these out. Remember, these jars are super, super hot, so you need to be very careful. Once you take them out, you really don't want to mess with them. Just let them sit for at least 12 hours. Let's come over here. I have these ones to take out as well. I will let these sit overnight, and then I will check their seals in the morning to make sure that they sealed. These are such an easy meal to have on hand. I would rather can my own beans than buy canned beans because I know these are organic and I know what's in them. And I can whip up some refried beans. I can make tacos really quick. It makes life, or if when I'm gone and my husband needs to put together a meal, he has beans already. It makes life easier. Okay, so I have 12 jars of pinto beans canned with organic beans. I got my beans from Azure Standard. I don't know if I said that, but I can put a link in the description box. I will also put a link in the description box for my electric canner. And, oh, if you use Redmond, I'm gonna put a discount code for you so that you can get 15% off there. And tomorrow we'll check them together and make sure they seal, and we'll be done. We'll be done canning our beans. See you guys later. Good morning, good morning. So it's day 2 of canning beans. So I already took the seals off. They've set overnight. They've set for more than 12 hours. I've taken the seals off. I've checked each jar. Everyone has sealed. Praise the Lord. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean off my jars. I have 12 here, and I'm gonna put them in my cabinet. So I hope that this video helped you to see just how easy it is to really can beans once you kind of get used to the process. And I hope it encouraged you to know that if I can do it, you can do it. I have any questions that you have, please let me know. I will also include in the description box a link for my electric canner, which I love, and also a code for Redmond salt. If you love Redmond salt, I promise to put a 15% off code in there. And I think that was all. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you. Oh, I have somebody that wants to say something to you. What do you want to say? Bye. See you next time.